In case you need a refresher, let's take a little tour down memory lane. Do you remember August the 16th? Who could possibly forget that day? That wonderful day when all our problems melted away and everything about the machinery of American progress just clicked into place and the wheels of creativity and industry spun into new life. It was an occasion so memorable, we will have the privilege of telling our children what it was like on that day, to actually have been there. Future generations will likely declare that day a holiday in commemoration. Because as long as America stands as a nation of brave heroes, surely we can never allow ourselves to forget the legacy of August the 16th, the day that Joe Biden signed the Inflation Reduction Act into law. Because ever since then, things have been fine, with the small exception of gas prices, and maybe food prices, and the consumer price index, and well, maybe inflation is still bad too, which makes sense because all those other figures are either factors or effects of inflation. So what was the point of the Inflation Reduction Act again? Well, according to the Heritage Foundation, the bill was more like the opposite of an Inflation Reduction Act, and more like an Inflation Worsening Act. They criticized the bill, saying, quote, "In reality, this bill is a litany of policies aimed at scoring political points that has been recklessly and hurriedly slapped together." You know, now that we've had some real time to sort of bask in the effects of this piece of legislation, it's starting to feel like the people who crafted it weren't exactly truthful about their intentions. You might even say that by crafting a law that makes inflation worse, but calling it something that alleviates inflation, that maybe, just maybe, the politicians who did that were liars. But if you think about it, that's pretty scandalous. Inflation and the price of food, fuel, and energy have all been top concerns of Americans for well over a year now. We, the voting public, have wanted our representatives to prioritize the issue of inflation. It has been so bad for so long that living standards have been impacted across the board. People are struggling to make ends meet. They're buying less food. They're buying less of everything. They're turning down their thermostats. More are losing their homes, and home sales are also down. Inflation and the economy in general are widely believed to be extremely important issues to the vast majority of Americans. So what's going on with Democrats that they played this ruse? Are they laughing at us? Again, Heritage called out the bill's hidden tax burdens, saying, quote, "In these provisions, we find the third set of gimmicks, namely indirect tax burdens. Despite President Joe Biden's assurances, the tax and price control burdens of the Inflation Reduction Act will fall squarely on families trying to make ends meet."